Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, Ombara Rukambe Wadua Kwani, in a speech read on behalf of Ovahero Traditional Authority Paramount Chief Mushinde Kashiwa, says proposed in situ mining activities in the Stemrit Basin will distress sensitive water resources that farming communities are reliant upon for drinking and farming activities in the Omaheke, Hardap, and Karas regions.
And traditional authority, the Nama traditional authorities, the Nama Traditional Leaders Association, NTLA, and the concerned residents and farming communities in the Stamford Artisan Basin, which is abbreviated as SAB, which is targeted for the proposed uranium in situ mining in the area, do strongly reject such an undertaking unreservedly. We hold the view that it would be highly irresponsible and grossly negligent on our part to simply sit by and allow the in situ mining to take place in the area in the face of compelling evidence of the dangers to human, livestock, vegetation, and underground water. To allow it would amount to premeditated suicidal murder and ourselves and the generations to come.
Rossing Uranium's General Manager, Konje Kaulinge, speaking at the handover of the soccer and netball kits to the Erongo Newspaper Cup team at a value of $105,526 million.
It is indeed an honor and a privilege to share Rossing Uranium's contribution towards the development of our youth in sports. It is undeniable that so much can be done to sports in Namibia. However, as a responsible corporate citizen, Rossing Uranium is committed to making contributions to sports and promoting an active and healthy lifestyle. This is evident through our annual national marathon that took place in March. Ladies and gentlemen, today is about the youth of our mighty Erongo region who will be flying our flag high in Ochivarongo at the annual newspaper cup. Team Erongo, as you embark on this journey to go and compete fearlessly, we would like to encourage both teams to bring the cup home. I'm confident that the spirit of sportsmanship will lead the team in competing for the top prizes. Allow me to also applaud the Governor's Office for promoting healthy living habits and community wellness. And we are pleased to contribute towards the development of youth in sports in our region. With these few remarks, Rossing Uranium is pleased to announce its sponsorship to this team to a value of $105,526 Namibian dollars and 90 cents towards the team's attire and accommodation. With that, I thank you, and I urge the teams to bring the cup back home, please, and we'll make our name proud out there, and especially the region. Thank you very much.
About 17 employees of the Oshakati Multi-Purpose Youth Resource Center stayed on leave for 4 months and continue to get their salaries after the center closed due to a lack of unpaid water bills. Namibian Sun learned in early March after receiving a tip-off from concerned members of the public that the center closed since November 2022 because they owe money to the Oshakati Town Council. The employees have since been receiving their salaries from home, and some of them confirmed this to Namibian Sun. Youth Ministry spokesperson Aina Shikesho last week denied that the center was closed since November and that members of the public could not access services there despite the numerous complaints the newspaper received. In fact, Shikesho said the water was only disconnected in December 2022, leading to a partial closure. She said they owed the council $243,429 million, which was not paid due to late invoice submissions, and this resulted in the bill accumulating. Shikesho, however, said the center was always open as staff members reported for duty on a rotation basis, working from 8 a.m. to 10:30 as a temporary internal measure so that the center is always open amidst the challenges of lack of water. By the 16th of March, after inquiring with Shikesho, Namibian Sun visited the center again and observed that some employees were back at the office, but there was still no running water. However, Shikesho said the debt was settled beginning of March 2023. The lack of water at the center was not conducive for the clients and staff members. During the temporary measure on a rotational basis, the staff members executed some minimal activities at the center, she said. Shikesho said, in addition, during the period in question, the officials mobilized 700 youths, 450 adults and girls and young women who were selected from Oshana region to attend training at Berg Okas Youth Training Center in Grootfontein as part of the ongoing ministerial youth empowerment program in youth health and well-being. The telecommunications giant MTC announced that it, together with the Development Workshop Namibia through the Land and Housing Program, is accelerating the delivery of low-cost land for housing in Stampriet. Close to 300 service plots will be delivered to the community at Stampriet in the Karas region, according to MTC. MTC revealed that the Oneuptwo Town Council was the first to benefit, with 113 plots handed over to its residents last year. After Stampriet, plans are in progress to extend the same to the towns of Okakarara and Oshuarongo, Omaruru, Ondangwa, Okongo, Rieboth and Rundu. So far, Okakarara and Oshuarongo are making steady progress, with over 707 plots earmarked for Okakarara and 483 for Oshuarongo. MTC said in a statement. They further revealed that all plots will be for the ultra-low income earners market, and consultations between DW and local authorities and residents are ongoing. Addressing the land and housing issue in Namibia requires smart collaboration and deliberate intervention. Thus, through DWN, we intentionally avail $1 million yearly to enable the program to expand to other towns such as Luderitz, Swakopmund, Omaruru, Ondangwa, Okongo, Rieboth, and Rundu, said MTC Chief Human Capital and Marketing Officer Tim Ekanjo. Ekanjo added that initially the program planned to deliver 1,585 plots, but that the number has now been increased to 1,941 plots. According to MTC, the project launch in 2021 allows people to get 300 square meters of land at $15,000 million, payable over 12 months. In our Community Talk segment, every morning, leader of the Body of Christ Party, Bishop Festus Thomas, explains why they opened a case against the police. Leader of the Body of Christ Party, Bishop Festus Thomas, explains why they opened a case against the police at the Omungwelume. He added that they will make sure that all Namibians should respect the Constitution.
Yes, I am the president of the Body of Christ Party in Namibia. We came here, the police station on Dangwa. We have got an issue we had since August 2022, whereby the traditional authority and the community at Simbibi, they came to destroy the 2 toilets belong to the certain church called House of Healing. This land was given by them and it was paid legally. Later on, maybe the headman changed his mind. He wanted to evict the church from there. We had a meeting, several meetings with them, where we discussed, we said, no, they have to, because the people, they already put up their 2 toilets there, brick toilets, so they cannot be evicted like that. So unless they seek another plan, maybe. So the traditional authority refused. Later on, they came to destroy those 2 toilets. So after they destroyed the toilets, we had a meeting with them. And then we direct them, we said, okay, fine, we are going to advise the victim to go to the police station at Oneuptwo to open a case, which the police declined not to be open there at Oneuptwo. Now, we go there several times. Case was declined since August last year. Today we are here in Ondangwa to open that case. We decided to come to Ondangwa and open that case of malicious damage to property, whereby another case of misconduct of the station commander at the police at the Oneuptwo. We are going to follow up with our legal practitioners, and we are going to make sure that all of us, we follow procedure, and we must also respect the Constitution in this regard. We are happy today to see that the case was open. Now we are following the matter closely to see that those suspect, which is Chew, to be arrested and brought to book. Yes.
In our Story of the Day segment, Namibia commemorates Children's Book Day. We take a look at this story after the break.
Hey, don't worry about the car, boss. I checked nice.
Thank you, but it's okay, ne? F&B Insurance. Checks nicer.
No.
At F&B Insurance, we provide cover for all your valuables, from your car to your laptop to your phone. F&B Insurance. You value it, we cover it. T's and C's apply.
Namibia joined the global community in celebrating International Children's Book Day, which is annually commemorated on the 2nd of April. The event, which aims to promote reading among children and young adults, was celebrated by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture yesterday at the National Library. In an effort to encourage a culture of reading among children, a variety of activities were organized to mark the occasion.
We have been invited by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture to be the keynote speaker at this celebration of International Children's Book Day. At the outset, I would like to state that your efforts and the hard work of your teamwork for working tirelessly to organize this day for the sake of the Namibian child, especially that it is the first time that Namibia is joining the rest of the world in celebrating of this beautiful day, and that needs to be appreciated. International Child Day is an annual celebration of children literature, held on the 2nd of April every year. The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture opted to celebrate it on the 5th of April, which is today, 2023, because the 2nd of April, 2023 fell on a Sunday. This event has been created to encourage children to appreciate literature and develop a love for books, as well as reading. This event emphasizes the beautiful power and the importance of books for young people. This reading culture is very important to you as the young generation, because they say, and I quote, once you learn to read, you will be forever Days such as this one give children an opportunity to meet authors, and today you are fortunate that you are walking away with a book that you can own and read at home. In order to achieve an educationally sound society, there is a need for a reading culture among individuals. For that, we need authors who create a wide or write reading materials such as books. It is therefore important to embark on a book writing journey as we contribute to a culture of reading. I would like to ask all of you present here today to develop love for writing, especially in your indigenous language. Because Namibia has in Wangani, in Silosi, in Setswana, and many others. English should not be the stumbling block. Directors of ceremony, Indians and teachers, ladies and gentlemen, the importance of book cannot be overemphasized. Books and literacy are inseparable aspects. As I conclude, I would like to reiterate we Namibians need to re-emphasize that literacy skills are essential to succeeding in a society and help people to participate positively in the socio-economic development in their communities. Because poor literacy skills are directly linked to poverty.
The banking industry relieves statistics. We take a look at this story after the break in our economic news segment.
Muscle and joint pain should not be the reason you can't perform at your best. Norflex Gel. It also shouldn't be the reason you miss that important deadline. Norflex Gel. Or miss those precious moments that matter the most. Norflex Gel. Norflex Gel penetrates through the skin, numbing the area and relieving pain and inflammation. Norflex Gel is now available in the pharmacy aisle and in supermarkets. New Norflex Gel Forte is available for stronger anti-inflammatory action.
Beat the pain with Norflex Gel.
Getting into our economic news, during 2022, the banking industry received a total of 122,819 applications for repayment holidays. The value of loan approvals indicated that individuals dominated the approvals with a total of $2.3 billion in 2022 compared to $4.9 billion in 2021. This was followed by the real estate and business services sector with $1.2 billion, trade and accommodation with $731.1 million, and the mining sector with $285.1 million. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 17.99 to the US dollar and 19.64 to the euro. It trades at 22.43 to the pound and $2 Namibian and 61 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Zinc is down by 1.48%, while Brent crude oil is down by 0.14%, trading at $84.83 per barrel. The U.S. is going to hell, says ex-president. We take a look at this story in the international slot after the break. The U.S. is going to hell, Donald Trump has said in a defiant address after pleading not guilty to falsifying business records to hide damaging information ahead of the 2016 election. The former president was charged with 34 counts in a Manhattan court in New York on Tuesday. These relate to a hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels, who says they had an adulterous affair. Trump is the first U.S. president in history to face a criminal trial. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. The 76-year-old told supporters gathered at his Mar-a-Lago home in Florida after he appeared in court. He said that the fake case was simply part of a Democratic conspiracy to interfere with next year's presidential election for which he is running. Earlier, he sat stony-faced and silent for the nearly hour-long proceedings before Judge Joan Merchan, speaking out loud only in response to the judge's question and to enter his plea of not guilty. Trump said nothing to reporters as he left court. The case against the former president hinges on a hush money payment of $130,000 made before the 2016 presidential election. While such a payment is not illegal, spending money to help a presidential campaign but not disclosing it violates federal campaign finance law. His former lawyer, Michael Cohen, who turned against his former boss, has said he made the payment at Trump's direction. Each of the charges carries a maximum of 4 years in prison, although a judge could sentence Trump to a probation if he is convicted. The odds of his being found guilty are so far unclear, but the charges have put the country into uncharted political territory. We'll be taking a look at our weather forecast shortly. Getting into our weather predictions. Partly sunny weather is expected in the north with Nana at 33 degrees and Ruacana also at 33 degrees. Partly sunny weather is expected along the coast with a high of 23 degrees in Walvis Bay and 22 degrees in Henties Bay. In the sports section tonight, members of the Namibia Rugby Union support staff for the Windhoek Droughtville Witches received sponsored bets. Getting into our sports news, members of the Namibia Rugby Union support staff for the Windhoek Droughtville Witches and the national team have received sponsored bets from local manufacturer Restonic, while Witches head coach Chrysander Botha, defense coach Alistair Coetzee, who is also the national team head coach, Sergio De La Harpe, strength and coordination coach, Irvin Newman, team manager, as well as the NRU CEO John Haynes, were among the beneficiaries of Restonic's brand range named iDream Desert Comfort. The Swakopmund Fistball Club will play host to the second round of fixtures in the Bank Windhoek National Fistball League on the 22nd of April, according to the Fistball Association of Namibia's media officer, Helmo Means. The second round will produce quality matches. I believe that after the visitation of the European players and coaches, there will be an increase in quality matches, not only in the A-League, but most particularly for the youngsters who are integrated into the B-League. Rihanna Scholz marked her successful entry into the prestigious Seven Continents Club by completing the grueling Antarctica Marathon on King George Island on Antarctica on the 23rd of March. In doing so, she became the first Namibian to have completed a marathon on each of the 7 continents and also realized an 8-year-long dream. We'll be getting into our highlights shortly. Let's take a look at the highlights from today's broadcast. About 17 employees of the Oshakati Multipurpose Youth Resource Center stayed on leave for 4 months and continued to get their salaries after the center closed due to a lack of unpaid water bills. The telecommunications giant MTC announced that it, together with the Development Workshop Namibia through the Land and Housing Program, is accelerating the delivery of low-cost land for housing in Stamford. Rihanna Scholz marked her successful entry into the prestigious Seven Continents Club by completing the grueling Antarctica Marathon on King George Island in Antarctica on the 23rd of March. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenn Rashipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.